We all know the student handbook and what has to be done there, but I think the crux of the conversations have to include those core values of the Wildcat Way. There has to be a learning component, or what are we doing? It can't just be a transactional piece in an office where don't do that again, detention, or whatever the consequence is. There has to be some kind of learning piece and empathy or respect that you can go to. So
you don't have to like everybody the same, but you do have to respect everybody. And talking about those core value traits of the Wildcat Way are so important in those conversations.
And all those positive interactions for me with the kids, it helps them see me in a different light, that I'm not just in the school building to issue legal consequences, right? My main goal is the safety of all the students, but after that is to educate and mentor all the kids that I come in contact with.
it's that trust piece.
Right.
I think just building those relationships has been so important, because that's the bottom line of everything. If kids don't trust you and feel supported, they're not going to come to you, and you're not going to help them feel safe in our building, regardless of the situation. So
I think the key of we're talking Wildcat Way, everyone knows what we're talking about, and that becomes all the way through. When we send our students from the high school down to elementary schools, and they're reading to those classrooms, or they're interacting with those kids in any way, that's always kind of a language that bonds our kids together.
And those conversations taking place everywhere is the other key. We're talking about the Wildcat Way. We started with it as a big picture look at things. Now we've interwoven that into curriculums and classrooms and advisory and athletics, fine arts. It's something that now is encompassing, and like you said earlier, it's something that our kids are growing up with, and now they know it. When we have those conversations and reference those things, they say, oh yeah, am I reaching that trait? Is this something I can do better?
Can you tell me which core value we're kind of addressing here with whatever discipline we're dealing with? And they're able to do that now, which is kind of a neat byproduct of having it all the way through all of our buildings.
We don't try to funnel things through the legal system, right? Part of that discipline can be having a good conversation, a sit down with me or Deputy Van Dis, who's at the junior high, and just talking about maybe some of the potential future consequences should poor behavior or poor choices continue. I think that's really important too, and helps build those relationships.
And those same kids become champions for that Wildcat Way. That's kind of becomes the hook, right? That's You've got a kid who's had those moments and then learns from them, and then turns it on its head and says to other students, hey, that's not right, that's not the Wildcat Way, those types. That's a wow.
As a school resource officer, being in the schools throughout the district all day, building those relationships in good moments rather than just all of the sometimes negative interactions where somebody's getting disciplined, really helps for when we do get in there and I'm able to mentor and educate them, right?
it's just a good way to live our lives by the Wildcat Way, and in school as a staff, out of school as parents. I know I'm a parent in the district as well, and those conversations take place in the house, and it comes from the junior high. We talk about the Wildcat Way, and from the ECC, and we see it in the community. I think just driving around Jenison and seeing the Wildcat and the flags and just the presence of the school, I can't see the Wildcat head without thinking about the Wildcat Way, and I hope that our students are noticing that as well, and just that pride of belonging and being in Jenison.
We're 2 years in, and it's already the language of how we operate. It's just kind of a given that we talk about the Wildcat Way when we send kids to the junior high, when junior high school students are having classes in our building. Like, they know how to act because they've been taught in their building, and it's the same in our building. It's all about, is this part of the Wildcat Way? And
how are you being a Wildcat in this campus and also in our community? I think that's the great thing about Jenison. Like Rob said, is the kindergartners over at the ECC are saying the same things that the kids in 12th grade are saying.
Yeah, it's cool because that messaging was kind of intentional from the beginning, and now it's natural. It doesn't. Like you said, it's seeing the Wildcat head and thinking, okay, there's a certain standard there, and that standard is, like, people talk about this standard of excellence or whatever, and everybody has their own definition, but our definition is the Wildcat Way. And it bleeds into championship cultures of teams, it bleeds into marching band and all of those activities that our kids do, drama club, all of those things which are unbelievably important to our student body and our community, fall under that umbrella in some form or fashion, and they have that opportunity to achieve excellence and can attribute it back to those core values and how they adhere